What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers Report. And in this video, this is going to be my last video on the top prospects in the organization. This is going to be the prospects 21 all the way through 30. So if you haven't checked out any of my latest videos on the top prospects in the organization, go check that out. That's where I've done prospects 1 through 10 and 11 through 20. But with that being said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right now because I'm your #1 source for all things Rangers on YouTube in the off season, but in the regular season as well. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. So first on the list at 21, I have shortstop Cameron Cawley. This guy was drafted this year in the 2021 MLB draft in the 3rd round, and he, out of high school, he made his professional league debut this year with the Texas Rangers. He didn't perform too well, but I made a video on him whenever he was drafted, and I think there is some good potential, and it's another middle infielder in this Rangers organization, so I am excited to see what he can do this year. And I do think he has a good hit tool. And so let's just see what he does this year in the lower levels of the minor leagues. Number 22 on this list is Davis Wendzel. And this guy has kind of fallen off on the latest rankings. He was drafted in the 1st round the same year as Josh Young. However, he hasn't performed well due to injuries and just hasn't done well with the bat. But I do think there is potential still in Davis Wendzel. But if he doesn't perform well this year, then his status in the Rangers organization might be up for questioning because he is up for the Rule 5 draft this year. So I do think there is potential because he's versatile, but the injuries and the lack of performance is a little worrisome. 23 on my list is Zach Kent, left-handed pitcher. He's a guy that doesn't have too much of a ceiling, but he performed really well in the lower levels of the minor leagues this year. So this is a guy that if he performs well, great, but I'm not expecting too much from him. So as I'm listing off these lower prospects, like these guys could make it to the major leagues, but a lot of them have they don't have the best stuff as the blue chip prospects at the top of the rankings. So they could be bullpen guys, like starters that turn to bullpen, or a 4th outfielder, depth guys. So we'll just see how these guys turn out. But 24th on my list, kind of similar to Zach Kent, but Cody Bradford, drafted in the 6th round out of Baylor. Didn't really perform amazing, but he performed pretty well in AA, and I mean, he was respectable enough to get on the top prospect rankings. Doesn't really wow you with any of his pitches, but definitely respectable enough to be on the top prospect rankings. And 25th on my list, this guy has tremendous potential, but just like Davis Wendzel, has been hampered by injuries and lack of performance, and that's Bubba Thompson. But he actually played decent in AA this year, didn't deal with any injuries. Our 1st round pick in 2017, although he has a lot of problems with the strikeout numbers. This is the best athlete in the organization. He can hit for a little bit of power, plays great defense, but the problem is the strikeouts with Bubba Thompson and the lack of time he's played due to his injuries. 26 on my list is shortstop Thomas Saggese. This guy the Rangers drafted in the 5th round back in the 2020 draft, and this guy I'm actually really excited about. This guy could easily jump up into the top 15 by the end of this year because he performed really well at low A ball with the bat, and he is versatile, so I'm excited to see what he can do. And I think the Rangers actually had a pretty good 2020 MLB draft. I wasn't too high on it at the time, but if you look at it, you have Justin Foscue, Evan Carter, Tekoa Roby. You drafted Dylan McLean. He hasn't really done anything. But then you also got Thomas Saggese. 4 of the 5 of those guys are on my top 30 prospect rankings. And then 27th on my list is Sherman Apostle. This guy is on the 40-man roster. Didn't really do well in AA or in AAA this year, but we know he has power. We got him the Keone Kela deal. Hopefully he can put it together, but with a team like the Rangers that's trying to compete, his 40-man spot could be up for grabs if he doesn't put it together pretty quickly. 28th on my list is first baseman Blaine Crim. This guy was drafted pretty late in the MLB draft, I think in 2019 out of Mississippi State, and he reminds me of Curtis Terry. He's gonna have to get to the MLB with his hit tool, and that's basically it, because all he did in the minor leagues was rake, and that's really good, but just like Curtis Terry, he raked this year, but he doesn't really provide anything else. Blaine Crim could play in left field, but he's pretty much just going to be a hitter at the major league level. But if his hit tool stays consistent, then maybe the Rangers found another first baseman, maybe left field DH kind of guy. So this could be an intriguing guy to watch for the Texas Rangers. Maybe starts in NAA next year. 29 on my list is Christian Ainoa. This guy kind of had a breakout year in Down East, plays second base. Hasn't really done anything spectacular in the minor leagues, but his OPS was over 800 this year. But it's kind of fluky because his minor league career, it's always been under 700. So I had to give him some love for the season that he had 11 home runs. Do I expect him to do it again? Not really, but he had my attention based off the season that he had, and he's a little bit versatile. So Christian Ainoa, we got him in the international signing period, comes in at 29 on my list. And 30th on my list, I was deciding between two prospects, Cole Ragans or Byron Lora, but I decided to go with Byron Lora. The reason I didn't go with Cole Ragans, yes, he made it to the Futures All-Star Game. Yes, he was our first-round pick in 2016, although he didn't fare well against top competition in AA. Although with Byron Lora, he still has good potential, given that he was our highest paid international signing free agent back in 2019. He's dealt with off the field issues. I think if he gets his head in the right place, focuses in and hones his potential, I think he could be another Sam Huff type of guy with the power that he brings to the table. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below on my prospect rankings. This is it for the prospect rankings. I listed all my prospects 1 through 30. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.